Good afternoon. It's December 30th, 2022. This is the last trading day of the year. So let's check out these trades that I have marked. Some of these I'm sure you could argue to be green. I'm sure there's a double test right here that we could talk about. But let's just take a look here. And I'm seeing this second entry short right here that you might consider. But early on, I was playing this channel. I think both these channels are valid, this channel and the yellow channel. If you look at this channel, that's probably what you would have early on, and then we get a break and two legs down to a new low, and then it just goes sideways. But if you have the yellow channel, we get a break, and we get two legs of correction. We actually get a third leg of correction, and it just goes sideways, and eventually we get a new low before it reverses. So it looks like a lot of people were playing the yellow channel. I do think that both are valid, though. And so let's take a look. I'll get rid of this one in a minute. So no trades until shortly after the open, and you get a second entry short. That's also oh, okay, I thought it was a double test. It looks like a double test, but not really. So it's really just second entry short off of the EMA. So you might consider it. It's congestive though, so I wasn't crazy about it. So with that being said, let's delete this. And we come up here, we hit the level of resistance again, you make a lower high, and then you get this failure, but when it bounced off the midline, I was a little skeptical. But then when you get this, really it's just a lower high off the trend channel. I like that. You could look at this congestion as like a double top, first entry failed, second entry. That's what it kind of looks like afterward. But it really is just like a lower high off the trend channel. And we make that leg down to the lows of the trend channel again before we make this leg that breaks the channel. And then we get two legs of correction and then another leg up. So I was expecting a new low, and so when we got this failure set up, I like that. You could have gotten out, I think, if you were following the Al Brooks rule 3550 to 3350. So if you followed Al Brooks's rule of ATR, going for half of the ATR, you would have gotten out on this. I think the ATR was would have you going for like 6 ticks and not 8. If you were going for 8 ticks here, it probably would have been an 8 tick failure. But anyway, that gets you a scalp. Then it rockets on up. And then we get this channel of correction, get a break, an attempt at a new low, and then it reverses. But really, we don't get to the high of this channel, this larger channel. And really, I mean, the channel could have been something like that too. But if you draw it off the highs, we don't make it to the highs of that channel. This is a second entry short, pretty far from the EMA, when we are indeed going on both sides of the EMA. We're ranging. Only thing is we're making higher lows and higher highs, so it's just not a great setup. Then we come down here and see we have a break and a new low. So you get this third entry that looks like a nice trap, but it's a third entry, so you can't really enter that. And that brings us down here to this bottom. You might argue for this one, especially that's a 1, 2, Yeah, that's a pretty good looking setup, but it's just congestive. Very bullish bar, but very congested, 37.25, and there's only 4 ticks back to the EMA, so this is not a great setup. Just not a lot today, really. We come up here, we get a bounce off this potential trend channel, and then we get a second entry confirming that trend channel. But it's going right into these highs. So there's resistance up there, and you can see it struggles to go higher before it reverses, and this is just flip-flopping, chopping people up. And then you get a second entry short here, but it's just, in my opinion, I think this is too congestive. However, there is a double test right here. So this is like a lower high, and that's probably why a lot of people like this. But I don't see how you could really enter that. I mean, we have a breakdown here and a move to a new high, so maybe people liked it for that reason. Come down here, overshoot, leads to a break. This is actually, you get a second entry right here and then this lower high. So maybe you consider that. But I was looking at the range, so I'm not. And we have this break of this yellow channel and a new low in place, so I'm not crazy about that. Very congestive looking price action here. Now we have this low, we make a higher low, and unfortunately the reversal pattern comes up here, so you can't hop on. Overshoot leads to a break, and this would be a place where you would look for a second entry long, but it's just a third entry down here and fourth entry here, so there's just no entry. And then we just get some super congestion into the close, so not a whole lot here. But hopefully you were able to get in on one of these two and just call it a day. So hope everyone had a great day. Have a great new year. I'll be back next week.